Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Weak Signal in the True Off My Chest subreddit. The post is titled, "My negligence cost my partner her life and I'm about to lose everything. I am not a cheating, lying, thieving, abusive jerk at all. I am a 35-year-old man and have been married to Lisa, who is 28, for 3 years. We have been together for 7. A year ago, I fell deeply in love with Amy, who is 24, and had been planning to end my marriage for her. I know it is terrible and not what my wife deserves, but we were the real thing. 2 weeks ago, Amy had an allergic reaction when we were getting food after work. She used her epinephrine auto-injector and seemed mostly okay afterwards. She usually gets checked at the hospital after a reaction, but I asked if I could take her home and if her friend could drive her there because my wife was expecting me back. All I know is that she had a secondary reaction that evening and died. I did not even find out about it until the following Monday through a work email. It has been eating me up ever since, and I will never forgive myself for not sacrificing an hour of my time to possibly save her. I sent some childish messages to Amy when I did not hear from her over the weekend because I thought she was angry I did not take her to the hospital. I am thankful she never saw them and ashamed that I assumed the worst. Our relationship was great and the highs far outweighed the lows, but I have always hated being ignored and I lose my cool when it happens. It is not a regular occurrence and I would have more than made it up to her. Yesterday at work, the Human Resources Department and the legal team were in the Chief Executive Officer's office all day, and my manager ended up canceling our project meeting because he was with them all afternoon. I was on edge, but an affair is not exactly a corporate crisis, and I thought something would have already happened if anyone knew. I am now almost certain it was about me. A few hours ago, I received a message from Amy's phone which said, "This is Amy's brother Tom. I want you to know it was me." I tried to call, but it went straight to voicemail and none of my messages have been delivered. I tried to call my manager more times than I should have, and he sent a message saying, "Please do not contact me until Monday morning. I cannot discuss anything with you right now, so it looks like my universe is going to collapse. I am going to be fired and my wife will definitely find out why." All I can do is hope that Amy's brother only showed them the messages from that weekend and that they were bad enough. I have no family except my wife and daughter and nowhere to go. All of my friends are either people I have met through my wife or my colleagues. On Monday, everything I have spent over a decade working towards disappears. I cannot stop it. I cannot talk to anyone about it. So here I am. I know cheaters are considered the worst, so I am not expecting sympathy, but this is making my chest hurt and I need to get it out there. Update. I have been consistently harassed for an update since posting, so please take it. Gloat because you are such wonderful people in comparison, then stop following me around Reddit. I am suffering in the wake of my infidelity and unprofessional behavior as I knew I would. I understand that it is an appropriate outcome and I am taking full accountability. I was suspended from work on Monday and I will probably be fired sooner than I thought. I had hoped to be able to save money as the Human Resources Department built their case, but it looks like Amy's brother basically performed the entire investigation for them. After an excruciating 3-hour run-through of everything they had, I spoke to the founder and he recommended the solicitor I am now using. The issue is that the company has to come down hard to protect themselves, because even though Amy's family does not have much chance of a claim, any suggestion of a cover-up could cause damage regardless. The founder still thinks my offer to pay them back will keep it out of court, and some more information has come to light. So it is not certain I will not be prosecuted, but I am quietly hopeful. I cannot afford to keep the solicitor if this goes much further, especially with a divorce on the horizon. Things are not good with my wife. I am still committed to making this as easy as possible for her, but I had to draw a line when it came to my daughter. When I got home from being unceremoniously escorted out of my office, she already had a bag packed for me. She would not let me wait at the house until my daughter was back. She would not let me check if I had everything I needed. She would not let me take the car, and she did not care that I had nowhere to go. I spent 2 nights in a hotel, then went back when she refused to let me see my little girl. She tried to stop me, but we owned the house jointly and it was my only option. My wife has family she could stay with, but she will not leave our daughter here and she is absolutely not taking her, so we are at a stalemate right now. I am keeping out of her way as best I can, which I appreciate is the least I can do. The Amy situation is quite difficult to talk about, and a lot has not sunk in yet. It turns out that she did not love me as much as I loved her, if at all. Her brother sent me images of her talking to her friends about me, and it is hard to believe they came from the person I loved, but they are real. Sorry to those who were heavily invested in me being a predatory abuser, but she and her friends had a good laugh about her manipulating me for money and a promotion. The role came with a big pay rise, and it looks like her plan was to treat it as free cash, then go work with one of her friends when it fell through. She knew I would come under scrutiny whenever she messed up and assumed I would keep stepping in to save her. She was right. Obviously, I am completely humiliated. I was planning to give up everything to build a life with her, and she was treating me like a joke the whole time. My feelings are complicated, so please do not feel entitled to any expansion on this, but I no longer feel guilt over her death. Reddit acted like I kept her hostage while she begged for help. What actually happened was that I asked if she could ask her friend to take her to the hospital because I had to go home. She said that was fine because she needed to get some clothes back from her anyway, and I dropped her off as normal. Ultimately, she was an adult who had a better understanding of her medical needs than I did. I still do not know what happened between us saying goodbye and her death, but whatever it was, it had nothing to do with me. I am sorry for her family's loss, but I bear no responsibility for her passing. After Amy's messages to her friends were passed around, a few people quietly reached out with words of support. I assumed everyone would write me off like Reddit did as an abuser and predator. Now it is clear that Amy was using me. They see me as a fool who had then lost it all. It is beyond humiliating, but I have learned I would rather be pitied than despised, and it improves my legal position with work. They are small mercies, but I will take what I can get. I remain filled with regret, and I will have learned many lessons by the time I get through this. I may have been deceived, but I am a grown man who made my choices, and I take full responsibility for them. Isto said, all the affair and abuse toward his subordinate affair partner aside, the way he talks about his wife and child makes me severely uncomfortable. It is so nonchalant and cold, on top of being unnervingly controlling and selfish. He literally does not see either of them as people, not even his own child. They are just toys to him. The guy has massive family annihilator vibes. Shells Bells said, what is great is that he is so indignant about people being mean to him on Reddit, yet he continues to post comments to further spin his victim complex. With that in mind, I am very much looking forward to the update when his ex takes him to the cleaners and he loses any custody rights to his daughter. Davorenko said, honestly, if I had a father like that, if I was his daughter, I would never ever want to see him in my life. Never. I wish he was not my father. I do not want to have a narcissistic person like that in my life. Edits, thank goodness I have my lovely and supportive father. He loves me more than anything and respects my mother and every person. He is not a narcissistic person like this awful person. The second post was made in the 2X chromosomes subreddit by a user named Bowler Inner. The post is titled, Emotional After Finding Out What My Ex-Husband's GF Did for Our Son. This year has been very difficult for my family and me. My oldest son got into an accident and was severely injured a few months ago. He is better now and still recovering, but things looked really horrible for a few weeks after the accident. While my oldest was in a coma, it was my youngest son's birthday. I feel terrible about it, but I completely forgot. I was so terrified that my older son would die that I could not think of much else. My ex-husband and I spent every waking hour at the hospital and regrettably were not really there for our youngest. He was staying with my ex's sister. My youngest came to visit his brother the day after his birthday and hugged my ex and me. He said he loved us and thanked us for doing something for him even in these circumstances. My ex and I had no clue what he was talking about, but we assumed my ex's sister must have done something for him and said we had a hand in it. I just found out that it was not my ex's sister but his girlfriend. She baked a really cool cake for him, bought him a new gaming chair and headset that he wanted, and took them to him on his birthday, saying they were from me and my ex. She even wrote a card from the point of view of me and his dad, and signed off saying, "Never forget how much we love you, Mom and Dad." I asked my ex if he told her to do that, but he said he did not even know she had, and that she never mentioned it. Now I am crying. That was so incredibly sweet of her to do in a time when I feel like I failed my youngest. And the fact that she gave my ex and me credit for her work when she does not even know me and was not asked to do it makes me emotional. She has such a kind heart. Salidra said, "Holy shit, that is next level." If she had just made sure he got a nice birthday and simply did not say anything to suggest you actually forgot or anything, that would have been plenty. Giving you credit, that is amazing. She sounds like someone who understands how serious your situation was, while also fully appreciating the importance of maintaining relationships for your healthy child. She sounds like someone you will want your ex to keep around. Business Public said, "Your ex might want to marry this woman, or you might. What a gift of a human. I hope your family is healing." To this, OP said, "I told him if he does not marry her, then I will. They are both incredible people, and I hope they have the most amazing life together." This final post was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named Disastrous2. The post is titled, "I didn't help a woman who had a baby with my ex-husband get survivor's benefits. I am 43 years old. My ex-husband Duke, who was 54, and I divorced because he habitually cheated on me. We had been divorced a little over 2 years when he died in a motorcycle accident. I paid for his funeral because of my daughter, who is 15, and despite everything, he was her father, and I did not want the state to bury him. That was 4 months ago, and my daughter is doing well. I applied for survivor's benefits for her shortly after his funeral and have been receiving monthly payments. Yesterday, I received a phone call from my caseworker at the Social Security office informing me that a woman called claiming she had a 3-year-old son by my ex-husband. However, the woman had no proof the boy is actually my ex-husband's, no signed birth certificate or DNA test. The caseworker asked me if I would be willing to allow my daughter to do a DNA test to prove this child's paternity. I refused. I did the math, and this child was definitely conceived while I was still married to my ex. Furthermore, at the time of conception, I had gone through a very traumatic hysterectomy with major setbacks that nearly killed me. I suspect I know who this woman is, and she definitely knew my ex-husband and I were still married. I am mad as hell, and I am not sure if I am doing the right thing by refusing, but I was humiliated enough by my ex when he was alive, and I feel even more embarrassed now. Edit. I wrote this over a year ago when I first found out about the situation. I tried to post it in another group, but it would not let me. I am posting here now because I came across it in my posting history and really wanted to know what others think. Thanks in advance for any help you can suggest. Update. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for their comments and advice. As I stated in my edit on the original post, this happened over a year ago, and for whatever reason, I was not allowed to post it on the thread I originally tried to. Now for the update. About a month after I found out about this little boy, I did indeed tell my daughter, who is now 17 by the way. She was shocked, as you can imagine, and very hurt by her dad's actions. I explained to her the full situation, and she did not want to do it then. She said she needed time, so that is what I gave her. Incidentally, she has been in therapy since before, during, and after the divorce. Her father and she were never close because he had a kids are to be seen and not heard mentality, which caused a lot of problems even when we were still together. The woman who had an affair with my husband was a work colleague and friend. We all work together at the same place. We both still work there, just in different areas. After I got the call from my caseworker, several mutual acquaintances approached me and told me that she wanted to sit down and talk with me about her problem. I thought about that for a few days and ultimately decided to meet up with her. We met at a coffee shop near our job on a Saturday. She told me that she and my ex started out as friends at first. He would give her advice on how to deal with her other 2 kids' father. She said very quickly it turned into flirting and hanging out, and eventually a full-on affair. By this time, he was telling her I was getting suspicious that something was going on, and she was already pregnant. She told him about the pregnancy, and he told her he would not be leaving me but would assist her with whatever the child needed. She was hurt and angry but stuck with the situation as she was already struggling with the 2 kids she had and needed the help. She went on to say that he was very much in love with me and that she was jealous of me for having him. Not once was this woman remorseful. No apologies, nothing. I asked her if she even cared what their affair did to my daughter, and she replied no, because she had enough on her plate dealing with her own children and, quite frankly, did not care about mine. That is word for word, by the way. At this point, I told her that I had informed my daughter about her son and that she is currently not interested in participating in this scenario. She got outraged by that, telling me I have to make my daughter do this, that she is only part-time at our job and that her kids cannot survive on her income alone. I told her she was a bitch, that if she had even felt a little bit of guilt, I might have been able to talk my daughter around, but her lack of respect for my daughter's feelings is why I will not. I left her there yelling at me as I walked away to my car. She has since quit working at our job. Over the past year, I have addressed the situation with my daughter, and she still does not want to do it. I have told her it is her decision either way, and I support what she wants. My ex's parents are both deceased, and his one sister is dead. He has an older brother, but they had not communicated in decades because of the brother's drug issues. I tried to find out about him when my ex died, but I could not find anything. My ex was dead for 2 full days before the police finally got in contact with me. It was a shock. I never hated him, I hated what he did. There is a difference. I guess that is the update. If there are any questions you would like me to answer, I will be around. Feel free to ask. Thank you for your time. Stay blessed. Update 2. Okay, this has really blown up. Once again, I thank everyone who took the time to leave a comment. There are a lot of questions and assumptions. I will do my best to answer them to the best of my ability. First of all, let me say I did not hate my husband. Hell, I do not even hate his affair partner. For those who think I am trying to get some half-hearted revenge on a toddler, just let me say you are insane to feel that way. In the moment when this all happened, I was in shock and total disbelief. I reacted without any real thought. I challenge anyone on here to say they have not responded angrily to unwanted and unexpected news. However, I am not a person who does not think of the consequences of my actions, and that is why I sat down, calmed down, and figured out how to proceed. I talked to both my mom and my brothers before I talked to my daughter. They were also shocked but urged me to talk to my daughter and get her input on this situation. As I said in my first update, my daughter has been in therapy before, during, and still after the divorce. I suggested to her that she talk to her therapist about this. She did. Based on my daughter's feelings of being adamantly opposed to being involved, her therapist suggested I give her time, and I have. My daughter is a sweetheart, and I'm not saying this about her just because she is mine, but it has been a lot for her to deal with at one time. I am sure in the end she will change her mind, but I refuse to bully her into it. It has to be 100% her decision. Some of you think I hate my ex-husband and I am using the situation to get back at him. I do not. I hated what he did. That is all. My ex and I talked at least twice a week. We had disagreements, sure, like other people. I wish he would have told me honestly. The affair had long been out of the bag. I am not going to say I would have enjoyed hearing it, but at least we would have known. See, we are too busy living, and oftentimes we subconsciously think everything will work out for the best. It never goes that way though, does it? If he would have told us, we could have long gotten over any shock, hurt, or resentment, and possibly the kids could have long ago met each other. I would have known about the boy, and we all would have been better prepared when he died. Who knows, but I am no longer angry or hurt. Please believe me when I tell you that I want an amicable solution to this as much as you do. That day in the coffee shop with her, I once again reacted, but I am human, with feelings and emotions just like all of you. My ex-husband had no one else but us. As I said, he has a brother who is on drugs, who I spent weeks trying to locate, and I could not. I would never have let him be buried by the state because at the end of the day, we still loved him. I was married to him for 17 years, for goodness sake. A.E. Mahi said, people attacking OP for not helping his mistress is wild. She owes that woman nothing. To this, 8% Juice said, agreed. That is why you take the comment section with an entire shaker full of salt. If the mistress were presenting her story, they would either be condemning her just as hard or fawning over her because her situation aligns with their selfish choices. If I were to ask Reddit for advice, I would only take the opinions in the middle. Anything else is likely to be disconnected from reality. Sim Alien Ant Farm said, "The affair partner is too stupid to even pretend remorse in an attempt to get the original poster to feel empathetic enough to help. I did not care about your kids. Well, congratulations, you have set the tone for how things go forward." Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersubs. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.